Money could not buy him everything after all. Ethan Montgomery had learned this harsh truth in the span of 3 seconds. 3 seconds had transformed the 34-year-old billionaire from master of his universe into a broken man lying helpless in a hospital bed. The steel empire he had built with ruthless determination meant nothing when his body refused to obey his commands. The accident had happened on a rainy Thursday evening. Ethan was driving home from another hostile takeover meeting, his mind already planning the next acquisition. He never saw the delivery truck that ran the red light. The impact sent his luxury sedan spinning across the intersection like a child's toy. Now, 2 weeks later, Ethan stared at the sterile white ceiling of St. Mary's Hospital. His left shoulder was wrapped in thick bandages. His ribs were cracked, and his left leg was elevated in traction. But the worst injury was to his pride. Ethan Montgomery, who had never needed anyone, now could not even reach for a glass of water without help. "Good morning, Mr. Montgomery," came a soft voice from the doorway. "I am Sophie Lancaster, your day nurse." Ethan turned his head slightly to see a young woman with blonde hair pulled back in a neat ponytail. She wore light blue scrubs and had the kind of genuine smile that made people trust her instantly. She appeared to be in her late 20s, with gentle eyes that held no judgment, no aught as wealth or status. "I do not need a babysitter," Ethan said coldly, his voice rough from pain medication. "Just bring me my phone and leave me alone." Sophie moved closer, checking his foredrip with practice efficiency. "Dr. Cole says you're healing well, but you need rest. Your assistant Lydia has been calling every hour. I told her you would speak with her this afternoon." "You told her what?" Ethan's voice rose. Then he winced as a movement sent pain shooting through his ribs. "You have no right to make decisions about my business." Sophie pulled up a chair beside his bed, her expression remaining calm. "Mr. Montgomery, I have been a nurse for 6 years. I have seen many successful people come through these doors. The ones who recover fastest are those who learn to accept help gracefully." Ethan studied her face, looking for signs of the usual intimidation he inspired in others. He found none. This young woman seemed completely unimpressed by his reputation or his money. It was both infuriating and oddly refreshing. "I have companies to run," he said, though with less venom than before. "People depending on me. And right now, you depend on others," Sophie replied gently. "That does not make you weak, Mr. Montgomery. It makes you human." Over the following days, Sophie became a constant presence in Ethan's world. She helped him with physical therapy exercises, patiently encouraging him when frustration made him want to quit. She brought him books from the hospital library, sensing that his sharp mind needed engagement beyond business reports. "Why did you become a nurse?" Ethan asked one afternoon as Sophie helped him practice moving from bed to wheelchair. The question surprised him as much as it did her. Sophie paused, considering her answer. "My grandmother spent her final months in a place like this. The nurses there were so kind to our family during a very difficult time. I wanted to give that same comfort to others." "That must not pay very well," Ethan said, immediately regretting how callous it sounded. But Sophie just smiled. "Some things are worth more than money, Mr. Montgomery. Like knowing you made someone's worst day a little bit brighter." Her words stayed with him long after she had gone home for the evening. Ethan found himself thinking about his own grandmother, who had raised him after his parents died in a plane crash when he was 12. She had been a schoolteacher who made $30,000 a year, but she had been the richest person he knew in all the ways that mattered. As his physical strength returned, Ethan began to notice things he had missed before. He saw how Sophie remembered every patient's name, how she stayed late to read to an elderly man whose family never visited, how she brought homemade cookies to night shift nurses who worked double shifts to support their children. "You are different than I expected," Sophie said one evening as she helped him practice walking with a cane. They had been working together for nearly a month now. "How so?" Ethan asked, genuinely curious. "When I first met you, I thought you were just another rich man who believed the world owed him something. But I have watched you. You remember the names of the custodial staff. You asked about Clara's sick mother. You even said thank you to the food service worker yesterday." Ethan realized she was right. Something had changed in him during these weeks of forced stillness. The armor of indifference he had worn for so long was beginning to crack, and Sophie's warmth was seeping through. "Sophie," he said, stopping their slow progress down the hallway, "would you have dinner with me when I get out of here?" She looked at him with those kind eyes that saw straight through to his soul. "Are you asking as a billionaire who is used to getting what he wants, or as the man who has learned to say thank you?" "As the man," Ethan said without hesitation. "As the man who has discovered that the best things in life cannot be bought, only given freely." Sophie smiled, and in that moment, Ethan understood that his accident had not been a tragedy after all. It had been a gift, a chance to discover that a heart could be rebuilt, one gentle act of kindness at a time. "Yes," she said simply, "I would like that very much." As they continued their slow walk down the hospital corridor, Ethan realized that for the first time in 20 years, he was truly wealthy, not in money or possessions, but in hope for a future he had never imagined possible.